All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the third episode of Everyday AI. And, thanks again for being here. And thanks for, if you've been following, thank you for, checking out the first two episodes that I've done, email writing and also creative writing. Hopefully that's helped you, test out your creative writing techniques, maybe start a blog or something. But today we'll take a step back really, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna tackle information overload. Hopefully through the power of AI, through the power of prompt engineering. Okay, we'll talk about prompt engineering again in a bit. So, for me, I was looking at just reading through some articles, and one of the things that stood out to me was an average knowledge worker spends about 2 to 3 hours daily reading and processing information. And that's a lot, right? So, what I want to do is try to find ways to cut this time drastically, right? All right. And again, this is super important for me because I like to read articles. I like to not just read articles online, but different blogs as well. So, instead of going through them manually and trying to write down all uh, the details or the highlights that stand out to me, why not just try to use AI, right? It does not mean that I should not skim things. It does not mean that I should just take AI on its word, like I've mentioned. Hallucinations and all, but it does still allow me to focus on skimming, and maybe when AI does its magic, it does affirm some of those things. And again, I don't have to rely on my memory. I like what I'm a fan of the concept of the second brain by Tiago Forte. That our brain is best used for processing information, not retaining them. So we let AI do the work of kind of putting all these things together, all these facts together, and then we can process them, right? We don't want to retain all that information and process them ourselves. Okay, um, so let's take a step back and talk about prompt engineering. So, what is prompt engineering? I've mentioned this before. Really, it is the art and science of crafting inputs that will now guide AI, whether it be your chat GPT, your Claude, whatever they may be, to produce exactly what you need. All right? Think of it like giving directions to someone new in town. The clearer our instructions are for them, the better the results, the easier it is to get them to where they want to be, right? So that's prompt engineering. And right, we've talked about um, the task context, um, and then the references, and then also evaluating, and of course iterating. We've talked about that. That is prompt, having a prompt. And you will see a lot of these prompts, by the way, available online. I might share some on my website, on my Facebook, on my socials as well, because they're very helpful. Yeah, it just triggers something to help you kind of improve how you give instructions to AI. All right, so just some elements about effective prompts, right? One thing to remember is that we have to give it clear instructions and context. So, why? I mean, AI has no understanding of your goals. You have to be explicit. Now, there are um, you know, there are some times where AI has been able to update their memories about what you've been doing. So that is still you giving it instructions or clear instructions. You will see this when using ChatGPT. When you write a prompt, it will actually say updated memory. So that you are building its understanding. but it has no inherent understanding of your goals. AI does not know you personally. Well, of course, others would. Others might, um, not agree with that statement and say AI is actually gathering all your information, but that's another topic for another day. All right. So, just an example about not having an inherent, understanding and really making it a clear instruction. There is a difference when we say or put something out there and tell AI to go summarize this. Okay. AI goes, well, I'll just read through it and give you some random stuff that I pick here. But if we say or summarize this article focusing on blah whatever implications, economic implications or financial implications, whatever they may be, because that's your goal. You're giving AI now that understanding that you are interested about this area being discussed in that article. All right. So the by providing context, it helps AI really understand what is relevant to you and make it more useful. Second thing about effective prompts is you want to specify your format. And I am guilty of this a lot. Okay. We want to tell AI exactly how we want the output to be structured. Okay. Um, Sometimes when I say summarize this, it will give me paragraph form, two paragraphs or whatnot. Well, another way to do it would just be to say, hey, summarize this in bullet points. Or you can go summarize this in one thing that I like to do is put this in tabular format, especially when comparing things or putting things into schedule, right? Um, so I don't have an example for you right now, but I'll do that later when we start playing with the actual prompts. Okay. Um, Another thing that I want to say helps me is giving AI examples. So if I have a particular format ready for me, or sorry, particular format that I want to follow, then I tell you, AI, hey, this is the format. You can. The great thing is nowadays you can attach a text file, a HTML, a PDF. Go, hey, this is the format I want followed. Summarize this and put this in this format. Okay. Lastly, it helps to give AI some parameters or constraints. Okay. This is the importance of setting boundaries because it helps AI improve focus and relevance of its output. Okay. So we could say, uh, summarize this in 100 words or less. Or maybe you can go, hey, I want to tweet this out. I summarize this in 255 characters. Of course, sometimes it will lose some of its meaning, but it is what it is. You are giving it boundaries of what you want to do. You can also even go, hey, I'm not really that technical, so maybe can you explain this in a high school reading level or elementary reading level? That again gives its boundaries and parameters to make sure the output is useful for you. All right. So those are just some techniques that I want to share with you about prompts. Again, clear instructions and context, format specification, giving it some samples, and of course, providing it some constraints and parameters. Okay, now just some warning on some prompt engineering mistakes. You can end up being too vague. What does this article say? Versus the better way would be, what are the main arguments? Right? So, because the articles can say a lot, but there are main arguments in that article that are being repeated or being, highlighted, and AI can tell you that. Overcomplicating instructions. So too many requirements confuse the AI. The way the prompting essentials of Google says is, hey, do it bit by bit, right? You can go, hey, instead of going putting all those instructions in one prompt, you can chop it down. First, do the summary, then do the format, then do what do you call? Then do the limitations or the constraints. That can also happen because if you put them all together, it might take time for AI to process. So that's my technique, right? By so that I do not overcomplicate instructions. Okay. Another mistake is, you know, contradictory directions. And this is funny, but it does happen. Be comprehensive but brief. What the heck does that mean? Right? Um, and, you know, the thing with AI is it does not usually question your instructions. It will try its best, but it's going to get confused a lot. Right? It's not like, if you instruct somebody and you say that and they'll say, what the hell are you talking about, Ryan? Okay. So just be careful about your instructions, or, you can maybe expound on it. What do you mean by being brief yet comprehensive? I don't know. Okay. And lastly, your engineering prompt engineering mistakes that could happen is not iterating. Super important to iterate. You um, let's not get into the habit of thinking that, you know oh, this is perfect already, this is great. Nope. We have to be iterating, right? Sorry, just adjusting because I like this one. I just got this new Trizub sweater. All right, so those are the prompt engineering mistakes: being too vague, overcomplicating instructions, contradictory instructions, and of course, not iterating. For me, the last one is the worst. We have to iterate. We have to, because the first prompt is not always going to be uh, what we're not always going to get everything in there. Cool. Um, let's go. So let's try some practical demonstration of what exactly we can do with summarization. What are the things we can um, use it for? So I'm going to now share my screen. Let me see. Make sure I share it correctly. Here we go. Cool. There you have it. Hopefully you all can see that. Alrighty. I'm just gonna, come up with my own examples of what I want to kind of ask AI to help me summarize. So let's see. I'm gonna use two here. For now I'm gonna use my Chat GPT, and then later on I will go use Notebook LM because I just found out watching another colleague demo Notebook LM. Oof, it's got some pretty cool stuff in there. Okay, so let's see if this will work. ChatGPT. I have an article about a road trip around the Maritimes. So if you don't know me, I am living in New Brunswick. It's part of the Maritimes here in Canada. Ooh, this is not good. I'm gonna go. Okay, this in Firefox is the reading view or reader view. Okay, so I can go. You know what? Makes it easy for me to copy paste stuff. Boom. Let's see if this can work. Please summarize this for me and provide me a an itinerary for our upcoming road trip. I really suck at spelling. Okay, and I'm gonna paste it here. Let's see if it actually works, because this is also one thing about AI is you have to know what is the maximum length for the prompts. There you go. Okay. So, mm, so what I'll do, I'll just copy this and make it shorter. Let's see if that even works. Well, I actually have a workaround already that I want to try. Ooh, it worked. So, anyway, let me try another workaround. So, it's giving me the summary, work, travel. Okay, not. I'm gonna try something different when it's done, but for now, okay. Can you show me on the map how this on a map? How this? Can you include a map to show the complete route? Right? So let's see. Sometimes I keep asking, please include. That can be the iteration. Hey, I want to see, I want to visually see this, right? And then provide a printable PDF, right? Let's see if we can actually come up with PDF. So this is what it's doing. So let me do the workaround that I mentioned. I'm gonna go. Okay. So, where was that article? It was here. I'm gonna copy this again, and then I'm gonna go save this as a text. .txt. Come on. Okay. Hmm? Where is it? Don't know where it is. Okay. I thought I placed this in the desktop, on the desktop. Well, I did. It's not reflecting. Oh, there you go. It's reflected. Okay. Let me close that. So here, ooh, what's happening? It's still processing. Mm, right. Let's try to go to Claude while it's doing that. So let me go. All right. So let me use this one where I can go, please. Oh, by the way, I'm costing them millions by using please. Okay, fine. Summarize this and provide me an itinerary for a, let's say, 5-day Maritimes road trip. And what I'll do is I'm going to now, instead of pasting the article, I'm just going to upload the file, right? For me, this has worked as this has been a good workaround, especially when they won't allow too much in the prompt. Okay, so let's give it some time. Oh, there you go. Well, that's not good. It wasn't able to give me a route. That's fine. Ooh, it's telling me other ways to have that route. That's fine. Okay. So notice then because it got confused, then it did not provide me the printable PDF. It could have just said, "Hey, nope, you can do this, but here's the PDF of what I created." Right? So this is an example of giving it too many instructions, confusing the AI. Okay, let's look at the other one. So Claude was able to come up with this based on the text file that I provided. Okay. Now I can go put this in tabular format. Let's see if it actually works. Right. Um, Again, because I interesting what's happening. Right. So for those who like to use Excel, maybe to you know as their as their to use Excel to keep their itineraries in, then having it in tabular format would help, right? Um, there you go. So you have day one, day two, fun times. I could actually use this. I'm pretty close to the Bay of Fundy, folks. So again, you know, those are kind of the workaround that you can do. Put it into a text, upload it, and then obviously I've already shown here the importance of not um, overcomplicating or giving too many instructions to AI. And I've also been able to show you, hey, you know, you can ask it to give you a good format. It's super helpful. Cool. Alrighty. Another one. Let's try a more complex one, right? I have this paper. Let's see if they can read PDFs. And this is a 34 page PDF. Right. What are you into? Ashwagandha. I don't know what those are. So this literally just came uh, last night because the wife was telling me that she wanted to get this. I'm like, that sounds like a drug. Is it a drug? And she goes, no. It's recommended by people to kind of help them with their sleep. So let me see. Hmm? Why is it's not working? Fine. So let's start another one. Summarize this and uh, summarize this, focusing on the health implications and highlighting possible side effects. So I'm gonna put in. So I did download this PDF, so it's here. Let me go. Let me see, right? But I'm also gonna say, because this is, again, we don't want. Ooh, oh no. See, it also has that limit. All right, that's fine. I'm just. By the way, just take note. Try replacing the attachment with small excerpts. So this is now telling you to break it down further. But I'm just gonna focus on creating the prompt here, and we'll try it on another AI bot, right? So summarize is focusing on health applications. Please include a link reference for the um, uh, assertions. I don't know what you call it. Let's now try to go to Notebook LM. Let's see if this one will work. Because Notebook LM has a bigger, what do you call this? Oh no, there you go. From what I've heard, it has ability to take on more um, information, right? And then I'm gonna go. Let's see what Notebook LM. So again, from what I heard in the session that I attended, Notebook LM can take more input through files, through links, and I really want to try the links with you folks later. Okay, this will be super awesome. It's taking a bit of time, but that's fine. Okay, well, it did its magic. So here you can go. You have all these references even, and I know you can. I'm I'm gonna go jump to the bottom. Hmm. Okay. So notice that it's a 36 pager. So, it's I think it's reasonable why the summary is still quite long. But so I'm gonna go, you know what? Change it again. I could go not just health implications, focus on the benefits and possible side effects. Okay? So I'm just gonna go and keep it brief. Let's see what happens. Right? I would say though that if it's about medical stuff, I would probably just read through all of that instead of you know it's a bit shorter, I guess. Ooh, nope, still a lot. But anyway, I think it's a lot shorter than the first one. It's a bit shorter than the first one. I now focused on benefits and side effect, right? Ooh, so there you go. It has a section for benefit and a section for side effects, just to uh, help you because you were able to give it the format. Liver damage, case of liver damage. See, uh, again, you can actually use this now. Let's see. I'm just, no. Sorry, folks. I'm just playing around with this literally. Where are you? Are you there? Oh, no. Did I lose it? I did. It was not able to save, but that's fine. Okay, so again, let's just go with that. You've already seen it, but what I wanted to do was take that output, put it into Chat GPT or Claude, and kind of ask it to now summarize this for me even more, right? That would be a way to go. Again, use all the tools that you have. I'm not putting in any proprietary or personal information in here, so I'm not worried about just using it all of them. Okay. Um, let's go to the last one, last example I want to do, and this I'm just gonna be doing this for the first time. Really inspired by my colleague. So what he mentioned is one of the you know strengths or the beautiful thing about Notebook LM is you can actually put in links into it. Other AIs uh, will not be, or they will tell you, right? When you tell them, hey, look at this website and create an outline for me or something, they will say, oh, I don't have the permission to look at websites. But Notebook LM, that's their strength. So, for example, I have an upcoming trip, just as an example, it's not happening, folks, um, to say France. Okay, so I'm gonna go. Hey, I don't know what are the best trips for me in France. So I'm just gonna go copy all these links, and I'm gonna go website. Okay, that's one. Is this even correct? Nope, that's not the website. So I will go. I'm actually gonna go open them up. Okay, and I'm gonna go now. Copy these pages, right? And then I'm gonna go add some more. Okay, so it's boom. I'll do two more and then I'm gonna add another type of article. Okay. And so this is pretty good. It's already building up my repository of, my sources. Ooh, came up with an issue. Eee, I guess it does not want you. Let's see. Let's add one more, and then we can remove that. Ah, it's not working. That's fine. So now let's try to go to YouTube. You might have, watch your favorite vlogger or whatnot. And then, see, you have YouTube here. Interesting. It's so specialized, right? It's a website and YouTube. But I guess that's the power of YouTube, really. Come on, come on. So now let's go see my algorithm: basketball, comedy, and politics. Jeez. All right, let's go. Um, France trip itinerary. Let's just do that, right? And let's look for, okay, don't know this one, but I'm gonna go YouTube link, boom, and then do. Okay, I am planning a trip with a wife to Paris with a wife on 2030. Let's just say, um, create an itinerary, 1 week itinerary, right? Provide the output in tabular format. Include um, contact numbers for uh, tourist spots, contact information. Okay, so let's see if it's all in there. Whatever is in there, it will be able to come up with. So, the beauty of Notebook LM is now you can actually, use a subset of information rather than getting generic input from, you know, just sorry. The beauty of that is now you have this this personalized, let's put it that way, personalized data set for AI to use to come up with an answer, right? Because in ChatGPT, yes, you can put articles or whatnot. That's just one article, and it's very limiting that way. And again, for me, the advantage is that it can actually go into the websites and read the content of the website. That is its power. Okay, let's see what's it come up with. Ooh, that's a lot of talk. Bam, bam, bam. Day one. Jeez. Even has notes and tips. Okay. Wow. Okay. So actually it's 7 days. Mm, boom. So again, using what I have, using the links that I have, I gave it like this is the subset I want you to be reviewing. So you give me something out of this, and it's just so much more customized for you. Uh, so this is for me this is the reason why when I saw my colleague use it, I was like, okay, I gotta use it too. However, just as a reminder to everybody, and especially be careful when using Notebook LM. When using Notebook LM, please do not, you know, again, no, no, not just Notebook LM, just especially Notebook LM. Please do not put in confidential information in there, you know, because AI will look at it and they will use it in the future. And you don't want that leaking around. Okay. And, you know, I guess there are exceptions, and that is if you have an enterprise edition, maybe they do. But even the pro edition, no, I be careful with that because you want to get through, go comb through the legalities of it, you know, the service agreements, the terms and conditions, to make sure that they cannot use that information to train their AI, or, you know, this is very, again, you just don't want to get in trouble with that with your company. All right. Um, that's it for now. You know, if anybody has, let me stop the share. That's it for now. Let you know if you have any questions for me about prompt engineering, about summarization or whatnot, or you know you just want to talk about AI tools, or just hit me up. You know, you have my Facebook. You know, just leave a comment here, um, and you know for if you want, I would suggest that you know do a homework homework challenge. You know, create a summarization template for the type of content that you read. Right, just have a template ready for you. Let's say, please summarize this with focusing on the implications of blah blah blah. Try it out on at least 3 documents and iterate that template. Okay, the first one will not always be the best, but you just keep doing it, and it will just keep improving. All right. Um, you know, just remember that the skill of prompt engineering, it's a skill, folks. It's a skill. It takes time to learn. It takes time to practice it and to perfect it, if you will. It's a superpower for your information management. It will really help you just be better at this. Okay. With that, again, thanks for listening in. And yep, as I'll keep telling people, you know, AI will not replace you, but people who know AI will. Have a good day, everyone. Have a great weekend. See ya.